I'm Sarah. Thank you for calling Pickering General Family Clinic. How can I help you today?
Hey, hi Sarah. I have some back pain.
Let me check our records for you. I'm checking which doctor or specialist is best for back pain at our clinic. May I ask if you have a preferred date and time for your appointment?
I would like to book the appointment as soon as possible.
Let me check availability for the earliest possible appointment. We have openings tomorrow between 9 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, or from 1:30 to 5. What time works best for you?
I think 1 p.m. Would work best for me.
Great, 1 p.m. is available. May I have your full name for the appointment?
Yeah, my full name is Dhruv Desai.
Thank you, Dhruv. Could you please provide your email address for the appointment confirmation?
It's my first name dot last name dot 222 at the rate gmail.com.
Just to confirm, I have Dhruv Desai booked for a back pain consultation tomorrow at 1 p.m. Is that correct?
Yeah.
One moment, I am securing that slot for you now. You are all set. A confirmation has been sent to your email. Is there anything else I can help with?
No, that's it.
Thank you for calling Pickering General Family Clinic. Have a wonderful day.
Hello everyone. So how was that? So that wasn't the real person talking on the other side. That was the voice agent which I have created and was booking appointment on behalf of me. So without wasting any time, let's get started and see like how it's actually working behind the scene. So let me share my screen. So there are a couple of tools you can use for this. I'm using Retell AI, but there are other tools like Vapi. Then if you want to clone your own voice, then you can use 11 Labs and all that. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually taking help of Retell AI to answer a user on behalf of me. So when we are talking about voice agent, what is required? So the first thing is like it needs to convert the text to voice, right? And voice to text. So for that we are using this Retell AI. And then it required some data, right, to refer. For example, for clinic it needs to know like what doctors are working then and what are their specialties, what are their availabilities and all that. So for that we have this sheet where we mention all the things, and this sheet is actually referred by our AI to answer all the questions of the user. And the other thing is like there are sometimes user ask about some policy related questions or some frequently asked question and all that stuff. So for that also we have this database which we already given to our AI agent to refer from. So this is just a normal AI agent I just created for demo purpose. You can do much more using these tools. So let me show you like how this actually working and what are the configuration you have to do to make this live. So when you create this agent, you have to give a couple of things. For example, you have to give the brain to this AI agent. So in our case, we have given this GPT 4.1 as a brain of our model. Then we have to give the voice, right? So we have a couple of predefined voice. You can choose anyone, whichever you like. You can define the language. Then you have to give the prompt. So in prompt you can define how exactly this agent should talk to any user. Now comes to the main part. Let's say any users coming and telling your agent, okay, I want to book for this particular time and all that. So how it will make sure that that particular time slot is available, and if available, how agent will book that slot, right? So for that we create functions. So here you can see like I have created one function for check availability and one for book appointment. So as per the requirement, agent will go to these functions and use those functions. And on the backend, this function actually calling to our real Google Calendar and all that stuff. And we just have to mention these functions into our prompt, like call this tool for booking, call this tool for checking the availability and all that. So you can see one more function here called annotate knowledge base. So basically, this Retell AI already have predefined knowledge base. You can directly add your knowledge base here, but it has some limitation. So for that, I have created workflow in Annotate to fetch the appropriate knowledge uh, as per the like request. For example, okay, this is the Annotate workflow for this project. So we have two different flows. One is that if someone, let's say, asking for doctor or specific symptoms and want to find the appropriate doctor, in that case, our agent needs to follow this sheet only, right? And this sheet is like very small data and need frequent changes, right? As per the doctor's availability change, or let's say a clinic wants to add some more doctors and all that stuff. So for that, we are telling agent to directly fetch the data from this sheet, and it will be a quick. But what about this policy document? This document uh, here it's small, but in real cases it's a long document with pages over, let's say, sometime 100 or 200, right? So in that case, we not want to give that whole file to our AI to go and find the appropriate details from there. So for that, we are using rag here. We actually created vector database using Pinecone. Let me show you. So here in Pinecone, we created this database called Voice Agent Clinic, and inside this, we actually uploaded this whole document. And for that also, we have created this workflow. So in this workflow, whenever we give any document, it will upload that document on our database, and it will chunk that data and create into the vectors and store that. And then that database we are actually using here. So it in this case it will be a really very quick, right? So uh, let me show you like how these all the things working behind the scene. So for that, let me show you in the chat, because in chat you can see exactly like when this agent calling which functions and all that. So this is the message we define that whenever someone call this is the first message. You can define that from here. Let's say user is telling I'm having infection, like that, okay, or a throat infection or like anything. So you can see here it call this tool called annotate again with this query which doctor is appropriate for infection, okay, and from there it find, okay, Dr. Patel who is the appropriate for this kind of stuff. Now let's see this same thing in the backend how it actually looks like. Okay, so this is the latest request. You can see this request only go through this sheet only because it only need to fetch the doctor's details. Okay, now let's say we want to trigger this flow. So let's ask question which required to trigger that other flow. I want to know about health insurance. Are you accepting Manulife health insurance? Okay, so I ask like, do you accepting this Manulife health insurance? So again it call this policy document. So let's have a look. It takes some time to reflect here. Okay, in this you can see this green flow, that is the exact flow triggered this time, because we ask for some question regarding to the policy. So for that, this agent need to go through this our vector database and all that stuff. And before it was only Google Sheet. You can see this green light, and here it didn't triggered anything. So you can see like how it is actually triggering this function real quick. And in voice agent, the main part is in how much time you are getting the response, because if a user wants to wait for, let's say, half minute, then no one will stay, right? So for these cases, latency is the very important. And for that, you have to create all the things in a such a way that it could not affect the latency. For example, let's say someone say, okay, GPT 5.1 is actually better, it's reasoning better and all that stuff. But when you use GPT 5.1, it will actually enhance your latency and all that stuff. So you have to make sure all this kind of stuff before creating this kind of agent. Now let's say if I say, okay, go ahead and book appointment. Okay, what time work best for you? Let's say tomorrow 1 p.m. Now it will go to this function called check availability calendar, and it will check, okay, this time is available or not. So tomorrow 1 to 2 p.m. is actually available. Let's check. Okay, you can see tomorrow 1 to 2 it's available. That's why it's allowing us to book that appointment. Yes, go ahead. Great, please provide your name and email address. Let's say Dhruv, and email address is dhruv@gmail.com. Guys, you see it's understand all the things like input I am giving directly, like name and the email address. It's know like what is the name and what is the email address. So now it's book this appointment, and you can see the result, and it's you are all set, goodbye. So all these message we can define at the end what it has to say goodbye, or wait for, or ask any other questions and all that. Let's say thanks. It didn't actually end the call. So when we say thanks, now it actually end the call. And now let's see in the calendar. Okay, you can see 1 to 2 appointment is added through at the gmail.com, and we can send the email to, we can add that flow again in anytime. It's a really easy stuff, right? Now let's see this whole stuff in call again. Are you ready for real magic? Okay.
Hello, I'm Simo. Thank you for calling Pickering General Family Clinic. How can I help you today?
Hey, hi Simo. Actually my kid having some fever, so for that I want to book appointment.
We have Dr. Priya Sharma, who I think is appropriate for this. Would you like to book an appointment?
सीमा, मुझे इंग्लिश इतनी नहीं आती है, तो क्या आप मुझे हिंदी में बता सकते हो कि अ, मेरे पास हेल्थ कार्ड है, तो उसमें सारी दवाइयों का खर्चा क्या इंक्लूडेड होगा?
All medication costs are not included with a health card.
हेलो सीमा, आप हिंदी में बता सकते हो क्या?
जी हेलो, जी हाँ, मैं हिंदी में भी बात कर सकती हूँ। आपने पूछा था कि क्या हेल्थ कार्ड में सारी दवाइयों का खर्चा शामिल होता है, तो इसका जवाब है हेल्थ कार्ड में सभी दवाइयों का खर्चा शामिल नहीं होता है। अगर आपको अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करनी है तो बताइए, मैं आपकी मदद कर सकती हूँ।
ठीक है सीमा, कल के लिए मेरी अपॉइंटमेंट बुक करो ना।
मैं कल के लिए उपलब्ध समय देख रही हूँ। कल बुधवार के लिए हमारे पास ये समय उपलब्ध है। सुबह 9 से 11 बजे, 11:30 से 1 बजे तक और 1:30 से 5 बजे तक। आपको कौन सा समय ठीक लगेगा?
मुझे लग रहा है 4 बजे सही रहेगा मेरे लिए। 4 बजे का बुक करो ना।
आपका समय 4 बजे के लिए बुक कर रही हूँ। कृपया अपना नाम और ईमेल आईडी बता दीजिए ताकि मैं अपॉइंटमेंट कंफर्म कर सकूँ।
मेरा नाम है ध्रुव एंड मेरा ईमेल एड्रेस है dhruv.gmail.com।
आपका नाम और ईमेल मिल गया। कृपया एक बार अपना ईमेल सही से लिखें, जैसे dhruv@gmail.com, ताकि कोई गलती ना हो।
वो dhruv@gmail.com।
आपका अपॉइंटमेंट बुक कर रही हूँ। आपका अपॉइंटमेंट 4 बजे के लिए बुक हो गया है। धन्यवाद। अलविदा।
थैंक यू so much. So guys, this is the magic. You can say that this agent can speak into any language you can speak. Let's assume that you are hiring for some person for this kind of role. Then let's say that person is can speak multiple languages and available 24/7. How much you have to pay, right? So compared to that, this is really very cheap and you can utilize this kind of stuff for your any kind of business, right? You can even make calls to any your customers and do this kind of stuff. So let me know in the comment like what stuff you like the most, and if you want to learn something more, just drop a comment or let's connect on LinkedIn.